Homes are not selling. Let's talk about it.
One of my houses is right there on the end. I've had that for over a year, about a year and a half. All of these houses, brand new builds, available. All 10 of them for sale. Just sitting here, year and a half. 10, like these are $1 million homes. Maybe that's a problem. 10, just chilling.
All right, so that guy looks like to be a developer, and it sounds like the homes he are developing or tend to be more in the luxury market, or at least that's luxury to where I live, price point. Maybe in some other parts of the country, it's probably normal pricing, but for where I'm at, I would consider that a luxury market. Now, from the looks of that house, it looks like a typical standard $400,000 house here where I live in Missouri. Now, with that, as I get into this video, I'm gonna say this. There are different markets, obviously, throughout the country. I mean, your New York or California market is not going to be like my market here in good old Missouri. But I will say right now we are probably in a little bit of a weird market. Buyers are not jumping on homes like they were back in 2020, 2021, and even the start of 2022. Homes are sitting. Buyers are very cautious. Buyers are not in any hurry to jump into a house because they're waiting to see what happens with price, how long the house is going to sit on the market, and what's going to happen with rates. It's a very weird time in the real estate market that we're living in right now.
This is day 107 of us trying to sell our home here in Florida, and it is not selling. I know everyone keeps telling me in the comments that it is our price, and I'm telling you guys that it is not our price. We've dropped our price 3 times now. We are lower than everything else on the market. If you guys have any suggestions what else to try, I mean, it's a bigger house, so maybe there's just not families our size that have this. So we're a family of 6, so it's a big house. Yeah, I don't know, maybe there's not people our size, maybe there's people sort of in our price bracket who are trying to move to our area. We're gonna try to get like a professional photographer to come in and kind of stage the house, get the drone, get the 3D imaging, all that stuff, to see if presentation will just get more eyeballs, and then more eyeballs will be more showings will hopefully eventually equal a sale. But man, if you guys have any recommendations, put them down in the comments, man. I'm all ears.
My recommendation would be to lower the price more. As we're gonna see from another clip here very shortly, if your house is not selling, it's because of the price. Plain and simple. Everything can be purchased at a certain price. It's just whatever the market deems to be necessary or a fair value is what the market is willing to pay. And the market is the buyers, right? Now, when you're looking at it as an investor standpoint, it's a little bit of a different ball game. Like for me, for example, I'm still buying real estate as an investor. I have a flip going on right now, and I still have my rental properties. And the most important thing there as an investor is you have to buy the deal right. That's the biggest thing there. You have to buy the deal right whenever you go to purchase that property as an investment. Now, speaking of being an investor in the real estate market, I want to give a quick shout out to today's video sponsor, Baselane. Baselane is an integrated banking and bookkeeping platform for real estate investors. They just launched a game changer called Baselane Smart. It's the automation upgrade for hands-free finances. If managing rentals feels like a second job, this is how you work smarter, not harder. With Baselane Smart, your bookkeeping basically takes care of itself. The auto tag assistant categorizes your transactions with one click. You can also set your own custom rules so things are always organized exactly the way you want. Receipts, just upload them and Baselane will automatically match them to the right transaction. You can even set up a minimum balance transfers so your accounts never dip too low and you avoid those annoying overdrafts. When rent comes in, it hits your Baselane account in just 2 business days. And you can give your property manager or bookkeeper access without losing control, since you choose the permissions. The bottom line is this: Baselane Smart cuts out the busy work, keeps your cash flow organized, and frees up your time so you can focus on finding the next deal. If you're still spending hours doing admin work, you need to check it out. Try Baselane Smart for 30 days using my link down below in the description and put your portfolio on autopilot. Work smarter, not harder with Baselane Smart.
If your home's not selling, it's because it's overpriced. buyers determine the value of your home. And if you're not asking for a price that's currently within the ballpark of what the buyers would consider as a good value for your home, then it won't sell and it will sit on the market. So if your home's not selling and it's sitting on the market, you can either do improvements to it to make the value of your home more to match the asking price that you're currently asking for, or you can lower the price to what the home is actually worth in its current condition. That's it.
Boom, nailed it. I mean, it's that simple, guys. If your home is sitting on the market for too long, it is because it is overpriced and there are no buyers willing to purchase it at that price. Now, just what I was saying about that previous clip we watched about the guy in Florida, right? One is it sucks to be a seller in the Florida market right now because really condo prices have taken a major hit in the Florida market. But also it's very tough to be a seller in the Florida market because one, of insurance costs, two, well, you know, Florida's been really overpriced with the amount of people that flooded into Florida back during COVID in the 2021-2022 era. I was actually one of them that moved down there during that time frame, and well, we almost purchased a house, and I look back now and I said, thank the good Lord above that we ended up not making that decision. We were under contract on a house and luckily ended up backing out, and it definitely worked out in our favor because if we would have moved back to Missouri now, we definitely would have probably lost money on the purchase of that house.
I don't even think I'm close on a deal right now. Working in real estate is not fun right now, okay? Let's be so for real. When's the last time we all got paid? I got a $400 paycheck this month so far. I have one deal closing next week and that's it. My pipeline is dry as the fucking desert outside my window in Phoenix, Arizona, okay?
Well, we're not in 2021 anymore, folks, that's for sure. So guys, if you don't know this, I am a mortgage broker. If you are in the state of Missouri or Arkansas, I'm also working on getting my Kansas license. If you guys are looking to get a refinance or also looking to get a mortgage, let me know, give me a holler. You can reach out to me in my email, jj@bucknermedia.com. But what I will say to this, guys, is right now it is a very weird time in the real estate market. Now, I see it firsthand as a mortgage broker, and I would say this summer I was very, very busy. The market was hot, people were buying left and right. Again, this is in, you know, the Missouri market, and times were good. And I feel like right now going into kind of the off season it's very, very slow. Now, kind of how our sales cycle works here in Missouri is summer months, you're obviously very, you know, hot and heavy. August dips a little bit with everyone going back to school, and then you have a bigger month in October, and then towards the winter, everything kind of just drops off until spring market picks back up again. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. But I think we're also, everyone's kind of in this spot where it's like, holy crap, this is a little bit worse than usual. And it's definitely a weird time to be in the real estate world. But again, I do think that it's a market by market basis of where you're at. Some markets in the US I'm hearing are doing much worse than what we're doing. We're kind of in this little niche area in Missouri too, that where like job growth is still growing. Like, you know, layoffs haven't picked up nearly as much in this, again, the area that we're at. So that may be a little bit of the difference there, but it's still a very weird time. And I think from being in the real estate world and talking to actual buyers in the market, a lot of people, I think what's keeping them on the sidelines is the potential to see what's going to happen with mortgage rates. Now, as of me filming this video, I know it's going to be going out a little later from whenever I actually film it, but today the Fed came out and they've officially cut rates by 0.25%. Now that doesn't exactly mean mortgage rates are going to drop. In fact, the last 3 times the Fed's cut rates, mortgage rates went higher. Now, there's a couple reasonings for that, but I think the biggest thing here is what's going to happen with the bond market and kind of how that goes after these rate cuts do, you know, they've officially happened. So now it's eyes on the bond market and what's going to happen with that. To me, I think with the uptick in unemployment and potentially seeing another rise in inflation, that may be worrisome to the market, and another reason why we may see mortgage rates even actually go higher. That's why I was trying to get a couple refinances in before they actually officially cut rates, because if you've noticed, mortgage rates were coming out. The bond market was already pricing in this rate cut potentially coming, and now it's actually happened. So what I'm looking out for and what I'm looking for in the future is what's going to happen with the overall market, right? I think what has to happen is I don't think that a crash is coming per se, but I do think we're probably going to see maybe a little bit of a dip in the real estate market until sellers understand their home isn't what it was worth, you know, 3 years ago. It's just not. I mean, you have higher rates, you have higher cost of living, you have people going into an economy where they're like, not sure what's really going to happen. So people are a lot more not as eager to jump into a piece of property. They're kind of sitting back, and if they're comfortable too, they're definitely not going anywhere, and they're even definitely not going anymore if they have under a 3% rate. So there's a lot of different variables going on right now that it's going to be an interesting 26, but I am bullish on the real estate market. I am. I don't know exactly like how the next 3-4 years are going to play out. Again, I don't know if we'll have like an actual crash per se in the real estate world, because you also got to look at, even if prices do drop rapidly, very fast, and by a large amount, let's say it drops 30, 40%, I don't even know if we get there, because there's so much money tied up in the money market funds where it's just trillions of dollars sitting on the sidelines waiting to be poured into either the stock market or real estate. I guess also crypto too.
Just got a call from the realtor that the people buying our house might be backing out because they were here yesterday for inspections, and the inspections went great. There's literally nothing wrong with the house. But of course they ask my husband, what do you do for a living? And we say, oh, he's a stay-at-home dad. And then the questions follow, well, what do you do then? And I said social media, and they acted like it was so cool. They were like asking all these questions, like, how do you make money doing that? How many followers do you have? And I had mentioned that I did a post about us moving. I thought it would like ease their mind, like we didn't post to our 1 million followers that we're selling our house. They took that as we have a stalker, which is why we're moving. If we had a stalker, we would not be here. My kids wouldn't be playing outside right now. I don't know if I'll post this because I'm such an ugly crier.
Interesting. Now, that doesn't shock me. I mean, I feel like right now in the real estate world, everything is just like, if something can screw up a deal, it's gonna happen. I mean, I had what was it, 4 or 5 deals this month. 2 of them, so one of them ended up not happening. 2 of them fell through. One of them fell through because it was partially in a sinkhole, and the other deal fell through because the seller popped on the title work a $47,000 lien on the property from a rogue family member that got pissed off and their parents passing away, and the will was I was just a complete shit show is what it was. Complete crap show. And I'm just like, this is the real estate market. This sums up the real estate market in 25. It's a very, very, very strange market to be in. But again, guys, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. And I'm not even about to say like what's going to happen in the future because I have no idea. I just will. When it comes to actually purchasing a home to live in, I think it's a different scenario than purchasing a home as an investment. Like right now, if you're going to be living in a property for the next year or 2, and then you know you're probably going to be moving out, I would say you're probably better off renting. And then if you think that you're going to be staying in the property for maybe more than 5 years and you have a family and you want to like settle roots up somewhere, well then buy a house. Don't worry about the market. Buy something that you can actually afford. That's the biggest thing. Like buy something you can afford. And then from that, just, enjoy the house and have it be a long-term property that you hold, and basically hopefully generates you wealth 20, 30 years down the road or however long you live in that property. That's kind of, I guess, my thought process as of where we're at right now in the market is if we are looking to purchase, I would say if you're looking to buy long-term or at least for the next 5 years, then it may be a time for you to buy. But I really think what we're going to see is sellers are going to start understanding their house is not what it was worth a few years ago. And we're going to slowly start seeing prices come down to where it meets more of basically an agreement with buyers where they're like, okay, prices are kind of back to normal for where rates are at. Payments have dropped a little bit because prices have come down. Maybe rates have come down a little bit as well, hopefully, and we're back in a more normal, balanced market. But right now, it's different.
My husband and I are in the middle of trying to sell our house, but this market right now is absolutely horrible. Our house has been on the market since the middle of March, and it's about to be June tomorrow and still hasn't sold. We've had to drop the price, I think 3 times. Yeah, 3 or 4 times at this point. And we're just noticing a lot of houses in our area are doing the same thing. They're just sitting on the market and just having to continually drop the price. And they're great homes and they were priced fine, but I don't know, just with everything that's going on in the market, I think people are afraid to buy. Obviously interest rates are really high. It's just been a lot. We've had so many open houses, and what's really hard is like today I'm solo parenting, so I have 2 under 2 plus our dog. So, and it's like almost 100 degrees outside and I have to be out of the house for 3 hours. So not a lot of things I can do. I've literally been sitting in my car in the AC while both the kids nap. They're both awake right now. So as you can hear, I have to feed my baby and then we're gonna go inside Barnes & Noble and I'm gonna have my toddler pick out a book. I'm hoping today is the day. I've seen on our camera that we've had like at least 4 groups come by, which is actually really good. So fingers crossed, please, because we're trying to get a new house, and in order to get a new house, we have to sell our current house. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what it comes down to, guys, is ultimately price. Plain and simple. If you have a house you're trying to sell right now and it's sitting on the market for more than 60 days, because our average days on market right now are 60 days. It's actually 56 to be exact. But our average time that a house from when they list the house and then it officially goes under contract is 56 days. That's average. So what that tells me is, 1, buyers are hesitant. They're not out in full force. And then also 2, price of homes are probably a little bit too high. And there has to be some sort of a correction to entice buyers to make more offers, to go under contract, and, you know, to make it make sense for them to purchase. And I think the biggest piece here comes down to one thing, and that's what their monthly mortgage payment's going to be. And when you have higher mortgage rates, that tends to make prices of homes fall, because most people, or majority of people, will get priced out and not be able to afford that mortgage payment for the house that they're wanting to purchase, and they're willing to sit on the sidelines until prices do fall back down. The problem is, on the flip side, playing devil's advocate here, if we do see mortgage rates drop, yes, you'll see mortgage rates drop, but I also think we may see property values increase if buyers start coming out. Well, we will. If buyers come out of the woodworks again because now they can afford these prices. The problem is that rates will have to fall quite a bit for prices to go back up, so that way buyers still aren't priced out. Because if you have rates fall, but then the price of homes still go higher, there's got to be that wiggle room of, well, how much can the house go up and the rate go down in order to make that payment still lower than what it was when the price was lower but rates were higher. And generally right now, with the way we're at in rates, you're better off dropping your rate than you are lowering the price, because you can get more bang for your buck by having that lower rate if you can get the sellers to buy down the rate for you. It's a weird market we're in right now, guys, but homes are definitely sitting on the market longer than usual, at least over the past, quite a few years. And I will be paying attention to what happens in the future. But if you're selling right now and you need to sell and it's been sitting on the market, drop the price.